defensive standpoint, but Washington has an opportunity here to potentially, put some points on the board prior to the half. They get the ball in the second half. There's been some good. There's been not a lot of good, and not a lot of good is basically how I would sum up the defense. Atlanta's not even punting. They're saying we, on a 4th and 2 in the 2-minute warning, we can get 2 yards on this defense.
Yeah, Washington has not been super interested in tackling to this point in the game, and we talked about it extensively.
Oh, they're not snapping, cowards.
So they are going to punt it. Or
come on, give Marcus a short field.
They are going to punt it. So that's a good stop by Washington. That all is aided by Javon Kinlaw's tackle for loss to start the drive. Eddie Goldman had a big-time run stuff on 3rd down, and I think the defense settling into the football game is the way that I would describe it, but it feels like they're not getting any sort of consistent pass rush right now. That is the issue that we're having right now on the defensive side of the football.
Along with issues with us. I guess that is what it is. Eddie Goldman actually hasn't played terrible today. I think the first 4 games of the season, my expectations for him were not sky high by any stretch of the imagination, but he's been halfway decent, I would say, for Washington already. So
yeah, he was PFF's 5th graded run defender amongst interior defensive linemen heading into this week. So he has had a really, really good start to the season, and it's a surprise. Oh, my God, did Jalen Lane muff the punt?
He did, but he fell on top of it.
Jeez. He's been really good. And it's crazy because during the preseason at camp, he was a guy that I didn't have high hopes for, but I mean, to this point, just totally disinterested. And, but no, he's a guy that's played well throughout the first couple of games. The defense, though, you can't arm tackle someone of Bijan Robinson's caliber.
No, you can't. You can't arm tackle him. The offense now has an opportunity. You get a minute 51. You have all 3 of your timeouts. You're down 7. Even if you come away with just a field goal, you get the ball back to start the second half. You got an opportunity here to go 2 for 1. You just had to take advantage of said opportunity. And literally on the first play, they throw a screen for about a gain of 6 inches.
This is what I said during the week, and the clip kind of got hyperbolized, I guess. I don't know. It got a lot of attention. They have no functionality right now as a passing offense without Terry. They look totally inept throwing the football. We just saw Zach Ertz get a first down. Need to see more of that. The passing game to this point, I don't know what the numbers are. I haven't looked on ESPN at really anything yet. But the numbers in the passing game cannot be too strong to start here. It just feels like everything is hard to come by on offense right now is how I would describe it.
I came to this epiphany, this realization. Maybe I'm late to the party here.
Yeah.
Debo is wide receiver 1. I like Debo. He's not a game wrecker that he once was. When there were years in San Francisco where he was a game wrecker. He's not that, and because that kind of echoes what you were talking about, the offense has been very difficult to come by for Washington.
Yes, it has, and it looks like, who is that? That Jalen Lane just made a good catch coming back for the football. Love to see that.
They're targeting Lane a little bit more. That's the second catch of the day. This one is the longest of the bunch. I think that one was for 11 or 12 yards. But he got one for about 7 yards earlier in the ballgame as well. Luke has been really good today. He's been the star of the game offensively and on special teams for Washington. He's been really, really strong performance-wise.
Yeah, that was
Ertz there, but linebacker jumps up, makes a big play.
Yeah, he did. Luke did a good job making the plays on special teams that he's made. The touchdown that he scored, give as much credit to Cliff as I do to Luke on that. Good man beater. Was able to, get the cornerback, D. Alford, caught up in some traffic, and good job not running out of bounds on the back of the end zone. That happens a lot to wide receivers.
Especially young wide receivers, not understanding the depth of the end zone and where the depth of their route is supposed to be.
We have not seen one designed Marcus Mariota run to this point.
We have not. I thought he should have. There was one I think it was on the second drive, where it ended up not mattering because they scored anyway. But there was one where it went to Chris Rodriguez for no gain. I was like, Marcus needs to pull that. He pulls that, and you get at least 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more than that. So big third down for Washington. 17-10 the score with a minute and counting. They're not really using their timeouts right now. I got to imagine if they get this third down, it's a 3rd and 8, that they're going to start using their timeouts a little bit more frequently, although Dan Quinn is not exactly the greatest in the world with timeout usage.
Is that Laramie Tunsil just false started? Is that what I just saw?
Oh, you see it again on our delayed broadcast. It was
timeout.
Landon Tunsil or
it looked like they ended up calling timeout. So there's no flag. Great, because that would have upset me.
This is what we get at, though, and why fans are upset about the timeout usage. You're going to call a timeout, cool, fine, whatever. You let 20 seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
So now you get 37 seconds. You still have 2 timeouts, but, man, it would have been really nice to get like 45 seconds, to get 50 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't want to give Atlanta the football back, but you got to be smart about that, man. Dan Quinn is just not the greatest with the timeout usages in these instances, unless you just didn't think that they're going to end up getting this third down.
Yeah, he's been pretty careless with the usage of timeouts, is how I would put it. But to your point, this is a huge third down coming. Low snap, jeez. Snap is low. I mean, they look totally inept on offense right now. You have 37 yards passing in an entire half of football. They look god awful right now.
So if there's ever controversy, there wasn't among smart people. But if there's ever controversy about maybe keeping Marcus Mariota when Jay gets, I mean, come on. Like this has been a very tough half of football outside of one Chris Rodriguez run.
Yeah.
One Chris Rodriguez run put them in a position to put points up on the board. Outside of that, this offense has been pretty brutal. You're not playing the Raiders. It's not like the Falcons are spectacular, but they're definitely not the Raiders. The Raiders were bad pretty much everywhere. The Falcons are at least moderate in certain positions. It's been a tough first half.
It has been, and I'm more the silly stuff on offense is what's killing you. Like you get intentional grounding that sets you behind the chains, kills your drive. You get a false start that kills the drive. I mean, like that's the frustrating part right now of the offense is it feels like their shortcomings are some self-inflicted wounds, and it's kind of hard to make any sense out of it. We're going to see.
I think Washington might have just gotten a special teams break. Now, see, the ref says that's Atlanta football, but this is going to get replayed. We're going to have to see. We'll get a couple different angles to see if the ball touched the Atlanta Falcons return guy. If it did, that's going to be a great spin for Washington.
Yeah, it is. And they need a break right now from the special teams unit. They've already gotten one, as Luke had a really good kick return. But, yeah.
That absolutely touches a Falcon. A Falcon defender or return guy kicks the football. If Washington comes away with that football and there's a clear recovery, that should be the Commanders' ball, which means you'll get 22 seconds, 2 timeouts at a very, very short field that you just then have to take advantage of.
See what the ruling is here. I don't know. They're saying that Washington just never recovered it.
You got to spin the block on that one. You got to look it over.
Well, this defense, Atlanta's got 2 timeouts. It's 22 seconds. You cannot let them get any points.
They're just not going to review this? You know, not being able to hear the broadcast is really tough at a point right now. Are they doing this silly-ass
no review.
So they're not reviewing. Is that just because the quick review that stole a touchdown from Terry last week? How do you not look that one over?
Jeez Louise. I just get worried anytime Michael Penix drops back to pass. I'm worried. Had to stretch at 9 straight completions.
They are cooking the DBs.
Yeah, and
there hasn't been a good defensive back today.
No, there hasn't. And it feels like, I don't know, man. Like we keep asking the question of like who the real version of the Commanders' defense is in particular. And when you're not going up against the Raiders and the Giants, your defenses look hot garbage. It's been bad.
And even at points against the Raiders, it wasn't good. There were miscommunications. There were blown coverages. You had guys running very wide open.
Yeah. So hopefully you can get off the field here with no points. I mean, this is what life is like, though, playing without your starting quarterback, playing without your starting wide receiver. You have no pass game right now. Like, none. And it is glaringly obvious that, like, this roster was not constructed properly behind Terry McLaurin. Noah Brown is your wide receiver number 2. Give me a break. Lives on the trainer's table. I think the offense is the bigger problem right now. Your first drive, you went 3 and out. You've been behind the sticks all day because you refused to stick with the rushing attack. I'm sorry, unless his knee is just like totally in a bad spot, give the ball to Bill Merritt, please.
Yeah.
Give me some Bill Merritt. Give me more Chris Rodriguez. They have been it's ugly. It's not fun to watch them on offense. Like they literally look bad.
No, they look bad. The running backs have been far and away the best group today offensively, but the bar is incredibly low. Incredibly low. I mean, Zach Ertz has been fine, but it's literally just him. They haven't thrown to any other tight end.
Yeah, and it just feels like Washington hasn't possessed the ball enough. We'll see if they give Jalen Lane a return opportunity here. If Atlanta is smart, they wouldn't, since he's like leading the NFL in punt return yards to this point.
Honestly, I would just snap this ball and then have the punter hold it and run. Not to a safety, but just.
Jeez, Lane muffed another one, bro.
I thought one of his best attributes, he got hit like right as. He caught that, but his best attribute was supposed to be that he did not do that, and now he's doing that. There's going to be a flag on the play. That might be early. That might be catcher interference. If that is, it's going to give Washington 15 yards. And that would be at least close enough to justify maybe one crazy shot at the end zone.
We'll see here what the actual ruling is, but no, Lane just dropped it, bro. It's a muff. Like, it's a muff, point blank. So that's going to end it. Going to take us to the half. Washington not looking good on offense, man. That's my biggest takeaway right now.
They're not looking good in any element of the game. So we'll start our official halftime show. He's Leno Willingham. I'm Denton Day. We are live at Honor Brewery in Fairfax. If you want to come watch the second half, come hang out with us. Watch the second half. They got specials on some drink. They got specials on some food. Linnell and I have been devouring some of the food that they got here. And that's by far been the best part of the day, Linnell, because nothing on the field has been better than that for Washington, with the exception of maybe that Chris Rodriguez run and the Luke McCaffrey touchdown. Washington has not been very good. They played a team last week that was not very good, and they looked good. And I think people drank the Kool-Aid in that they actually are good even without Jaden Daniels. There's a reason that Jaden Daniels is a guy that we have called a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He makes a massive difference. They have under 40 yards passing right now through the first half of a football game. Under 40 yards. They look like the Naval Academy out here. They can't throw the football. How are you anticipating beating a team in the NFL if you can't throw the football? It's been embarrassing watching them on offense. There's no real wide receiver one. Deebo Samuel's a good player, but he's not a game record the way that he once was in his earlier days in San Francisco. Zach Ertz is a good player, but he's not nearly as athletic to be a takeover guy. They have struggled offensively outside of one really strong possession.
Yeah, it has not been good to this point. Marcus Mariota, 9 of 12 for 62 yards. You're averaging 5.2 yards of completion. That is simply not good enough. On the day, 111 total yards of offense. You're 0 for 4 on third down. You've consistently been in third and long.
111 total yards of offense.
Yeah.
Man, in the first quarter, Bijan Robinson and Drake London themselves had over 90.
Yeah.
And they got only 111. That's embarrassing.
It is.
The fact that it's even a one-score game is actually maybe more impressive than anything, because they haven't looked like they have been all that close for a majority of it. Bijan Robinson is dominating right now.
Yeah, Washington's third down defense, to me, has been the big reason why they've gotten a couple of big stops on the money down, and that's really what's helped them. But Bijan Robinson running the football has been a clear issue. I didn't even go look at his numbers here in the first half, but, yeah, 12 carries for 54 yards. He's breaking tackles. I mean, 4.5 yards a pop. I mean, simply too much right now for Washington. The explosive pass plays, though, is what has hurt Washington. Kyle Pitts has a gain of 26. Drake London has a gain of 43. So Bijan's got a run of 14. So they've given up at least 4 explosives to my count here in the first half, and it's simply not good enough. Now, on the flip side, offensively, like, not a huge fan of the play calling, but it's tough to just line up and punch people in the face running the football, and that's what Washington's kind of tried to do here. But I don't know, man. You got to do something here to create some sort of explosive play offensively, because right now, I mean, they just look – the Naval Academy is the best way to describe it.
They look dull.
Yeah.
Not to say that the Naval Academy is dull, but they can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
If you can't create explosive plays, and on the flip side, you're giving up a litany of explosive plays, they're targeting everybody. Lattimore is not safe on the outside. He's not. he's getting eaten alive. And at a certain point, there's going to need to be a conversation. Do you move him or at least try him on the inside? Maybe he gets better leverage on the inside. Mikey's been getting picked apart a little bit. I mean,
all of them.
Darnell Mooney ran a route that was literally just a button hook. And
he
Mikey
turned Samer still around
the wrong way.
Yeah.
And he goes like 5 yards the other way before he realizes, oh, my God, Mooney is sitting down on this route here. It's been brutal to watch him defensively so far. So the fact that it's a 7-point game is actually more impressive than anything, but they need to generate offense. You cannot get away with doing this in the second half and expecting that you're going to win the football game. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, well put. Secondary struggled all day long, really been all season long, just massive gaps in their zone when they don't get pressure. It's puzzling to watch because in 2 out of the first 3 weeks, they were dominant on defense. The 2 respectable teams that you've played, and I'm saying respectable talking about Atlanta because we know Green Bay should be widely considered a Super Bowl favorite. The 2 respectable teams you've played offensively, it's been literally like a hot knife going through butter. Think about the first quarter against Green Bay, how many yards you gave up. Every time we play a offense with a pulse, we look incompetent on defense. We literally look like a group that doesn't belong. Like, that's the way Washington looks right now on defense. And it's embarrassing because it's like, damn, this is a group, talk about Atlanta, that's been awful to start the year on offense.
They got skunked. They had 0 points yesterday or last week.
Didn't have a drive in Carolina territory.
They were as awful as you will see a football team be against a team in Carolina that's not very good, and it's a completely different team today because Bijan Robinson is unguardable, uncheckable right now. It's funny. You were talking about he looked like a hot knife through butter, and literally as you were saying that, we have a television right in front of our face at Honor Brewing, and they showed the touchdown where he goes basically untouched. It's nothing but taps on the shoulder like they're playing two-hand touch. It's not even rap. They weren't even rapping like they do in camp. It was just two-hand touch.
Yeah, Jeremy Reeves tried to force a fumble. Just make the tackle. That's it. Just try to go for a strip. And then, yeah, somebody in the chat just asked $1 million question. I want to know, too, bro. Like, why does Bill not get more touches?
Like, we've been asking that for 4 weeks. I mean, we've been asking that question for 4 weeks. He's clearly a talented runner. He has great vision. He has great agility. He has a knack for finding the hole and attacking the second level of the defense. And they'll give him like 2 carries, then we don't see him again for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they'll give him another 2 carries, then we don't see him again for 10 minutes. How do you expect to build any form of rhythm with your offense if that's going to be the style of offense that you're playing?
And can I be honest, too? Like, at this point, with the way the pass game is looking, I get one in the throw quick game to loosen them up on defense, but, like, you got to run the ball.
You have to run the ball.
We have no designed quarterback runs to this point for Marcus Mariota. Last week he had 40 yards rushing in the first half. He has not even a rushing attempt yet to this point. Like, they've got to be better there. Like, Cliff, draw something up to get him on the edge. Like, you got to get something going offensively because you're not going to be able to sustain life like this. One more 3 and out, and the defense is going to rip.
They're going to get just destroyed. I understand extension of the run game. I get it, like the quick game stuff. I get that. But Washington does it to the point where it's now repetitive. And when you get to the point where it's repetitive, these defensive backs aren't going to start falling for it. So if you're not stretching the field, if you're not running the ball, you're not stretching the field, what is the point? Like, why are we playing the second half? Just wrap it up. You got to impose dominance at the offensive line and then trust that Marcus or trust that somebody on the outside is going to get enough separation to be open more than 4 to 5 yards down the field. Because it has felt like that all of Mariota's passes, with the exception of the one touchdown to McCaffrey, which is in the back of the end zone, it has felt like that all of his passes have gone about 7 to 8 yards through the air maximum.
Yeah, because you just don't have anybody that can – this has been my point that I've been, like, screaming about as to why you had to get Terry McLaurin done. You simply don't have another wide receiver that can stretch the field. Like, it doesn't exist right now. And I got hammered on radio this week for saying that this offense would be in a world of hurt without Terry McLaurin in terms of the passing game. And people were upset about it. People were calling for Jalen Lane, calling for Luke McCaffrey. They look like a high school team on offense right now.
Yeah.
This is what you do in high school when you have a bad offensive line and you don't have good enough talent. You run the wing tee. You run gadget plays. I mean, it's bad. It's bad right now on offense. Put Luke at quarterback. Can I get a trick play? Like, Cliff's got to do something to create an explosive because the defense is hanging on by a thread right now.
And then just trust your guys, man. Like, trust your guys to get open down the field. If Luke can't get open down the field, if Jalen Lane can't get open down the field, it's not like this Falcons defense is the Green Bay defense. It's not like this Falcons defense is like the prime Legion of Boom Seahawks. You should be able to get separation. And if you can't get separation, why are you on the team right? Why are you on the field right now? You're telling me that nobody can get separation against these defensive backs, not a single person?
Yeah.
Not a single person. You got 5 guys on this roster, 5 wide receivers, that is, on this roster. Nobody can get separation. A Colson Yankoff or Ben Sinnott can't get separation against a linebacker at this point.
Not getting those matchups, man. And I think
preach to us about this athleticism, Linnell, of all of the guys. They use this RAS score. They want athletes. Where are they? If they can't get separation against guys in Atlanta, like AJ Terrell is not playing. He's a great defensive back. He's not playing, and they cannot do anything.
Going up against backups. And the other thing I would say, too, is a group that we've got to put under the microscope, the pass protection. When they have dropped back, Tyler Biadasz had a high snap or a low snap on a key third down where you get a free rusher. Marcus Mariota would have been able to react to the free rusher if the snap wasn't low. So that's the offensive line coming up short in a high-stakes passing situation. There's been interior pressure where Zach Harrison won right away against Chris Paul, and Chris Paul kind of just handed him off, and that ended up in the sack. So, like, the pass pro, when they have dropped back, Denton, hasn't been particularly good. They cannot function right now, though, as a pass offense. Like, it's embarrassing to watch.
It's been really, really tough. So, in the second half, they're going to have to try and find something, obviously. It's only a one-score game, which is nice, and you have an opportunity to completely shift momentum because you're going to start with the football in the second half.
Right.
That's like Dan Quinn 101. Raheem Morris took the ball early for Atlanta because they got their own stuff going on. They wanted to score after having not scored last week against Carolina. Right. So, congratulations to them on that. But Dan Quinn loves it getting the ball in the second half to start, to get something going in your direction. That first drive for Washington is going to be incredibly crucial. If you can't get something going, it can't be a 3-and-out.
No.
It can't be a 3-and-out. You got to come away with some form of points. Your touchdown obviously would be the best opportunity or the most optimal. That's just football 101 here. But you got to come away with some form of points, man.
Yeah, you do. And even if it's not points, then, move the football. Try and flip the field, to flip field position or something, man, because I'm going to go back to the numbers. What are they, 0 for 4 on third down, I believe? Every time this offense has gotten into a third down, they have failed to convert it. They're 0 for 4 on third down because they're getting their butts kicked on first and second down. Run game hasn't been super impactful. I don't know if you've had enough calls. Penalties have kind of hurt you. They've only got 2 penalties called for 15 yards, but it feels like they've come at just the worst time.
There's been a couple penalties that were flags that they were then declined because a big play took place. So the penalties happened but didn't really end up counting towards anything. We're going to be back at the end of the game. I'm hoping that for Linnell's sake, for my sake, for your sake, we're going to be feeling a little more positive. It is only a one-score game. It's a big possession coming here for Washington to start this second half. We will be back right here on Twitter and YouTube. Enjoy the second half. We're out of here.